In this video, I'm going to explain to you how every single MS medicine works. And I'm going to explain it in under 5 minutes. Now don't turn away, because that starts right now. Hey! Howdy! Thanks for learning about MS with me, Boster. I started this YouTube channel to help my own MS clinic patients learn between visits, and it's my hope that through these videos, I can help you learn too. It's May 2020, and I count nearly 23 different formulations of MS medicines currently FDA approved in the United States to treat multiple sclerosis. There's a lot of them. And in this video, I'm going to explain how every single one of them works, their mechanism of action. Now, before we get rolling, I want to explain MS 101 pathology. In other words, the most basic understanding of how MS causes damage in the human body. This is relevant because I'll reference it as I talk about all the various mechanisms of the drugs. A naughty autoreactive white blood cell has the hots for your brain, but it lives in the bloodstream. It crosses the blood-brain barrier from the bloodstream into the central compartment, where it finds brain and spinal cord and attacks it, thinking it's a foreign invader. Now, every single medicine I'll be talking about either kills the cell in the periphery, kills the cell in the central compartment, changes the cell's behavior in the periphery, changes the cell's behavior in the central compartment, or creates a better barrier. With that preamble, I'm about to go over every single MS medicine. We'll set a timer for 5 minutes, and here we go. I'll first be talking about glutathione acetate. This includes Copaxone 20 milligrams, Copaxone 40 milligrams, and Gluetopa. This is an injection under the skin. And the drug is actually 4 amino acids in a random order that mimic myelin. Essentially what you're doing is you're showing the immune system its target. You're saying, hey, look, here's myelin. And then a couple days later, hey, look, more myelin. And then a couple days later, hey, look, more myelin. And the immune system literally becomes bored of seeing that target. When the naughty autoreactive immune system enters the central compartment and sees real myelin, it says, I saw that yesterday. In essence, you're taking a bunch of pro-inflammatory immune cells that get riled up and want to go into a bar and start a brawl, and you're teaching them to chill out with Netflix, order a pizza, and relax at home. The next group of drugs to explain are the interferon beta products. These are drugs like betaseron, Extavia, Rebif, Avonex, and Plegridy. Interferon beta products work by tightening the blood-brain barrier. If you think of the nascent blood-brain barrier in a person not treated as being like the straw house in the Three Little Pigs, it's really easy for those autoreactive cells to bust through the wall. When you squirt interferon on top of the house, it goes from the straw house into the stick house. It's a better barrier, and it makes it harder for those naughty autoreactive cells in the bloodstream to penetrate into the central compartment. That's how interferon beta products work. Now, if interferon products turn the straw house into the stick house, Tysabri turns the straw house into the brick house. It literally creates the Great Wall of China, so that almost no cells can penetrate out of the periphery into the central compartment. The next drug to tackle is a Biagio. It doesn't kill cells, it causes them to be held static, kind of like playing the freeze game, where they can't move. And in doing so, it prevents immune cells from rapidly reproducing and making multiple copies. See, when there's an immune reaction, the immune cells make a bunch of soldiers, kind of like making stormtroopers. And by taking a Biagio, you hold them in the freeze game and prevent them from doing that. The next group of drugs are the S1P1 receptor modulators. This includes Gilenya and Mayzent. Normally, white blood cells enter into the lymph nodes and then they exit the lymph nodes as they circulate through the bloodstream. When you take these medicines, 80% of the white blood cells that enter the lymph nodes become trapped. They're sequestered. They're not murdered, but they're held in prison. It's kind of like entering Hotel California from the Eagles. You can go in, but you can't leave. And if you sequester 80% of the lymphocytes into the lymph nodes, they can't exit into the bloodstream. If they can't exit in the bloodstream, they can't cross the blood-brain barrier to attack the brain and spinal cord. Next up are the Fumaric Esters. These are drugs like Tecfidera and Vumerity. The drugs work by tricking cells into thinking they're under oxidative stress, which causes them to respond with a lovely cascade of antioxidants, which literally cause a decrease in inflammatory activity. Next up are the B-cell depleters, Ocrevus and rituximab, and they work in an interesting manner. T cells attack the brain and spinal cord, but they can't do it without B cell assistance. The B cells have to co-activate or co-stimulate them and get them riled up. It reminds me of boys that want to fight after school. Two kids show up to fight and they bring 10 of their best friends, and their friends kind of activate them and say, "Go ahead, whoop his ass, I got you." What we're doing essentially with B cell depleters is we murder all the friends. So the T cell looks around and none of his friends are there and he doesn't want to fight. The last group to discuss are immune reconstitution therapies. This includes Lemtrada and cladribine and mitoxantrone. These drugs work by depleting the adult B and T cells and then allowing the new cells to come back to behave more nicely. It's kind of like if there was a war and we snuck over to the other side, killed all the generals, brought the kids back and raised them to be our soldiers. Boom! Every drug mechanism of action in under 5 minutes. If you'd like to up your game and continue to learn more about disease-modifying therapies, then click the video that's on your screen right now. Go ahead and click it. My name's Aaron Boster, and thank you for learning about MS with me. Until my next video or live stream or the next time I see you in clinic, stay safe and take care.